We're gonna look at Watt D today. Again, do your activation, get that heart rate up, and then come back to this video and we'll get started in the warm-up. For the warm-up, you're gonna do 3 rounds. We'll get 10 shoulder taps in, and then 20 alternating single leg deadlifts, and then 10 air squats. For the shoulder taps, it's actually gonna be each side, so it'll be 20 total. But you're gonna come down into that plank. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10. Then you're gonna go into your alternating single leg deadlifts. So what you'll do there, you'll come down, just tap the ground with your hands, come up, stand up all the way. Go to the other leg, stand up all the way. We don't wanna stop short, okay? This is not even really a deadlift, it's just walking in place. So make sure you're hinging over, really getting the hamstrings and glutes activated. And then you're gonna go into 10 air squats. So your air squats, nice heels at shoulder width position there, and then come down full depth. Again, standing, opening up the hips all the way. Now, before we get into the WOD, you want to do a little bit of the med ball squat clean practice. We have this movement in our workout. So with the med ball, or you can use a slam ball for this as well. Maybe you'll use a bag. I'll show that later in the workout. But basically what you're doing is you're going to deadlift the ball. You're going to pop that ball up so that it can kind of float in front of you so you can drop under it and hold it up high, and then you stand. So what we're doing is, well, that was not a good, there we go. So what you're doing is you're going to deadlift the ball, exert a little bit of energy to pop the ball up so it sits in front of you so you can drop under it. What you need to do here is just practice your deadlift. First thing we want to do is we want to get a good reach under the ball, and then whenever we stand, what you should notice is, especially because the ball is a little bit larger object than like a barbell, you'll be a little bit more forward. So instead of once you come down feeling the weight in your heels, you're actually going to be a little bit more forward, and you'll feel the weight in the midfoot or kind of over the ball of your foot. That'll actually help because as you come up to pop the ball, you're going to come up on the ball of your foot a little bit into a slight little jump, potentially. So you'll deadlift, just get like 5 in there, and just feel the weight and feel where your weight is on your feet specifically. Then you'll come here and get a little pop, just a shrug of the shoulder and try to pop the ball up out of the hands just a little bit. So deadlift. Then after you've done that about 5 times, then we're going to try to go into a drop under. So what you'll do is you'll hold this ball here and you're going to get a little pop, but you're going to drop underneath it to try to catch it right at shoulder height. That last one was not that great. Then you're going to try to put it together just to practice that movement together. So you'll deadlift, pop, and drop, and then stand. The last thing I want to point out is you'll notice I'm trying to keep the laces up the whole time. It's not about the laces as much as it is about keeping the ball from rotating. So I'm not trying to curl the ball. Whenever I pop and drop under it, I'm trying to let it stay just like this. So one thing you can imagine is the top of the ball is the opening of a fish bowl. You've got water in here, you've got fish in here. If you rotate it either way, you dump water and fish all over the place, all right? We don't want to kill the fish. We don't want fish and water all over us. We want it all in the bowl the whole time. So when I drop and catch the ball, it's in the same position it was when I picked it off the ground, basically. All right? So practice that at this point. And then, after you've done about 5 reps of each of those movements, followed by 5 reps, maybe 10, of a full med ball squat clean, then we can go and get set up for the workout. WOD D is 3 sets of 5-minute AMRAP for these 3 movements, and then a 1-minute rest. So you'll do 5 minutes going through this over and over and over again, then rest for a minute, and then 5 minutes going through this again over and over and over again, rest for 1 minute, and then another 5-minute AMRAP. So on this first movement, 10 reps for push-ups. Your push-up is going to be that full plank position. Your chest and thighs should basically hit the ground at the same time. And then elbows should lock out at the top. Now, RX Plus is going to be a little bit different. RX Plus, we're going to do 1-arm push-ups. So for the 1-arm push-up, you're going to come down. Try not to get anything jabbed in your hand while you do this. And then you're going to come down to the ground in full extension at the top. All right? My hat is preventing me a little bit from doing more, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. You should not be. All right. So push-up or RX Plus is 1-arm push-up. Then 15 reps for the med ball squat clean. So this is your movement again, just to show you. With the ball, deadlift, pop, stand. That's 1 rep. Make sure you hit the ground each time. Now you can do this with a slam ball as well. It'll be the exact same movement. Or if you want to do this with a bag, you can do this. You're just going to throw that thing up to your shoulder and do your squat with it. So you're going to clean, come up under it, and stand, hit the ground, clean, and you'll probably want to switch which shoulder you go to each time just to kind of balance out the movement. Then you'll do 20 kettlebell swings, all right? These are American kettlebell swings. So if you have the room to do it, you're doing American, so you're going to come up all the way overhead. Make sure you're keeping that back nice and flat. You don't want to arch the back as you come over, so it's not a weird bended movement. You're going to keep it flat. The way that I like to do that is just to set the hips back as I come down into the swing and to keep my gaze forward so that I'm not tempted to lean over and arch the back. Okay, so again, all the way overhead for that American swing. If you're not able to do this, if you can't go outside for the workout and you don't have the room inside, just modify it to Russian, that's fine. You'll still get a great workout, but that one's just going to come up to eye level. All right, well that's our workout for WOD D. So as always, get on Instagram, post some scores, post some videos, and hashtag FTX athlete, hashtag FTX home WOD, and at FTX CrossFit. See ya.